Hello, everyone. Welcome to TD Board Gamers. My name is Dave,
And I'm Dirk.
and today we're going to do a Silk unboxing. We're a little late because this came out last week when we were at Con of Heroes.
But we don't hold that against Con of Heroes because we had a truly great time there. So
Right. And there might still be some people in the world who haven't gotten their copy yet. So
maybe they just want to spend some time with us.
that would be nice.
Not
All right. So
likely, but possible.
let's see what's inside the pack. So
Cards. I'm going to say there's cards.
I'm going to say there's a poster
Ooh.
and maybe some cards.
Oh, okay. Maybe a card or two.
Maybe a card or two
Yeah.
or 60.
Yeah. Is there 60 in them?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, there's some cards.
And if this is the first time you've seen an unboxing, or there's always a poster
Of the hero packs, not of the
of the hero.
not in the other sets.
All right, so we got a nice poster of Silk here, which is cool.
What's cool is I've actually seen some people actually frame these, and I mean, yeah, they've got the creases, but you can get the creases out, and they actually make a pretty good little piece of frame
Yeah,
art.
I've seen some people with like wall art.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see if we have any new keywords. Player side schemes we've seen, piercing, featured keyword requirement resources. So before they had the word that said required. I think this requires. I think they changed it to requirement now. But it's basically to show that okay, if it costs, you have to spend at least one strength to pay for this card, that kind of thing. Team up, the same. Victory X, villainous, tuck. So tuck, I think, is new to this set. When an ability tells you to tuck a card under another card, place the tuck card face up under the other card. The tuck card is not in play. When a card leaves play, any cards tucked under it is discarded. Now, for Silk, there's a very important aspect with tuck.
Now, anybody who's played Arkham Horror, the living card game, made by Fantasy Flight as well, they'll recognize that because you'll see that in a couple of cards in Arkham Horror, but it's new to this game.
Okay, and we have.
Well, actually, no, there's a couple of side schemes I think that tucked, maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember if they used the keyword or not.
And she comes in protection, and this is all about her silk sense. So we're going to find out what that's about. So let's get to the table. All right, so we're at the table view. Let's open the pack. All right, we're going to start with her alter ego.
Okay, so we've got Cindy Moon. She is a 3-cost genius, or not 3 cost. I'm sorry, recovery 3 genius in her alter ego, and she has, if there are 4 or more tucked cards, there's that keyword here. Discard all but 4 of those, so you do get to choose. And as an action, you can discard a card tucked here and draw 2 cards. Limit once per round. Oh, that doesn't require her to exhaust. That's nice.
Yep, and hand size 6, 10 hit points.
Yep,
All right.
that's what I meant to say.
Then on her hero side, she's a 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 defense. She's a web warrior. If there are more than 4 tuck cards here, discard all but 4 of those cards.
Okay, so that stays the same.
Silk Sense response. After you defeat a minion or side scheme or resolve a treachery card, tuck that card under here from the encounter discard pile. So she's tucking.
Oh, so you can't do like obligations or such then, but
Right.
okay.
She's tucking encounter cards. And the key thing is what modular set or the villain set they come from is important. You'll see that. So they kind of say when you tuck under there, you could just see the villain set that they come from.
Yeah,
You know?
of the decks that I saw playing it, I saw one of them that played trying to go all one villain or all one module. I saw another one that tried to go one of each, and they both worked because they were
Yeah.
built toward it. And then I saw one that all they used it for was the card draw.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
didn't care.
Yep.
They grabbed every one of them that they could and used them for card draw.
Right. But you'll see, and it depends on the encounter deck, how you want to do that.
Yeah.
Because she gets different buffs based on what modular set you have tucked
Ooh, I
under.
bet you I wonder if she likes the raft. The raft could. She might not like that one.
All right. So the first card.
Okay, so the first thing we've got here is Smooth as Silk. It's a 0-cost event. I think we got 2 of these.
Yep.
And as a hero action, you can choose an enemy or scheme in play. You discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a card from the same encounter set as the chosen card is discarded. And then you tuck the discarded card underneath Silk.
Okay.
So it's a way to, that you've got one that shows up that you specifically want, so you can mill for one now.
All right. And then her attack card, we got 3 copies. It's Swinging Silk Kick. Costs 3. Aerial, attack, superpower. Hero action attack. Deals 7 damage to an enemy. You may discard a card tucked under Silk from the same encounter set as that enemy. If you do, the attack deals 2 additional damage and gains
I
overkill.
kind of like the way they changed up the swinging web cap a little bit. It naturally does one less, but you can make it do one more. I like that.
Okay.
All right, then we've got 2 copies of Wall Crawl. It's a 1 cost event. It's a superpower. It's a thwart event. And you can remove 2 threat from a scheme. And then you choose a scheme and you can discard a card tucked underneath Silk from the same encounter set as the scheme that you discard to remove 3 threat from the chosen scheme. A little bit of a tongue twister, but basically, if you've got a card tucked that matches the same set as the one you want to scheme on, you can discard the scheme for 5.
Right, and that's the additional one,
Yeah,
the 3. So technically, you could do 2
you
from
could
one
you
you
could do
don't
2.
have, and then 3 from one you do have. All right.
Yes.
Then we got a player side scheme here. Get the scoop. So this is kind of similar to Jubilees in a way. You'll see. Alter ego action. Exhaust your identity. Remove 2 threat from here. Any player may trigger this ability. And when defeated, the Cindy Moon player looks at the top 2 cards of the encounter deck and tucks one of those cards under their identity. And it comes in with 4 threat on it.
And what I think is cool about this one is so not only are you tucking one, but you know what the next card is as well. So
Right. And in multiplayer, you can have another person, like this is great if you get out on turn 1. It's like, hey, if you don't need to do a basic, could you remove 2 threat? And then I'll turn around and remove 2 threat, and I'll be able to start the
yeah,
card
I think
tucking
I think
process.
I might have done every time somebody came up with this on first turn that was playing her. I think I actually did that
And you'll see
to help
another
out.
card in her kit that deals with get the scoop here in a little bit.
All right. Next, we've got Albert Moon. So he is a 2 cost support persona. As an alter ego action, you can exhaust him and you choose to either tuck the top card of the encounter deck under Cindy. So if you use to get the scoop, then you actually know what it's going to be. Otherwise, it's blind. And then, or you can heal 1 damage from her for each card tucked. So she can heal up to 4. So that's in addition to her recovery. So she could either do a really big recovery or do a smaller one without having to go down.
Okay, then we have J. Jonah
I
Jameson
love this guy.
as a 3 cost support persona. Exhaust this card, search your deck and discard pile for get the scoop. So this is how you can get the scoop and put it into play. And as an action, exhaust this card, remove 2 threat from a side scheme. So now you have a built-in way to remove 2 threat from a side scheme every single turn.
Yeah, regardless of which format you're in, because it is an action and not an alter ego or hero action.
Right, and you don't even have to be justice to
Yep.
be able to thwart, at least off side schemes.
Yeah. Next, we've got Eidetic Memory. It's a 1 cost upgrade. It's a superpower. As an interrupt, when you reveal a card from the same encounter set as the card tucked under your identity, you can exhaust this card, swap those, and reveal the card that was tucked. So the one that you are discarding, basically, you reveal it.
Yeah. So one example I can think of is you get one of those annoying attachments for, like, say, Red Skull, and you happen to have a Hydra minion from the Red Skull set in tucked under. You could swap. Okay, you don't get the extra boost cards. Instead, I'll just deal with this Hydra minion.
Yeah.
So that's pretty nice. Okay, then we have some of her buffs here. So we got organic webbing. It's a 2 cost upgrade. Superpower. Silk gets +1 thwart. So now she's a 2/2/3. Exhaust organic webbing and discard a tuck card under Silk to ready Silk. She gains the aerial trait until the end of the round. So this is very similar to, say, like Spider Hams, where you're able to gain the aerial trait for a turn. So that to the round, actually. So you'll be
Yeah.
aerial during the villain phase if you're playing protect. You got some protection aerial events, say, for example. So that's pretty nice.
Yep. All right, next we've got Outwit. It is a 2 cost upgrade. It's a skill. As an interrupt, whenever Silk makes a basic thwart, you can exhaust this card, and you get +1 to the thwart for each card tucked under her that does have to match the encounter set of the thwarted scheme. So, but yeah, so if that scheme is there, like if you put it on the main and you're using the villains, you can get a pretty big thwart off of that. Or like I said, you could split it off from a couple of different ones if you wanted to make sure that you can.
And if you had the previous card that gave her a +1 thwart, and you have 4 from, say, the villain set or whatever, now
There's 6.
you're thwarting for 6. Yeah, that's pretty good without being justice. Spider Claw. So it's a 2 cost upgrade. It's a weapon. Hero interrupt. When Silk makes a basic attack, exhaust Spider Claws. For this attack, she gets +1 attack for each card tucked under her from the same encounter set as the attacked enemy. This attack gains piercing.
Yeah,
So
that piercing's huge.
again, +1 per, so she can get up to a 7.
Yeah, 7
Theory.
with piercing. That's pretty nice. All right, and then you've got Spider Reflexes. It's a 2-cost upgrade. It's a superpower. As a hero interrupt, whenever she defends, you can exhaust her to get +1 defense for each card tucked under that matches the set from the card discarded. So very similar to the last 2 cards, but this is for the defense one.
I'm sorry, they got defense of 7. It's attack of 6. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she's a 1, 2, 3. All right. Comes in protection. So we got ally here, Scarlet Spider, 3-cost ally, 1 thwart with 2 consequential, 1 attack with 2 consequential, 5 hit points, Web Warrior. When another Web Warrior character would take any amount of damage, Scarlet Spider takes that damage instead. So yeah, he's got quite a bit of hit points, so he could conceivably survive an attack.
Although, if he's already thwarted her scheme with that double retaliate, double consequential, there's a good chance he won't.
Yeah, but I mean, if you got
Attack.
if you got a critical ally that you don't want
Yep.
to go away, you know, hey,
Or if you're
or yourself, for
yeah,
that matter.
you don't want to go away either. All right, next you got Spider Bite. I love the uniform
Yeah.
here. Spider Bite's a 3-cost ally. She's a Web Warrior. She's got 2 thwart, 1 attack, and you can reduce the cost to play her for each tech card you control. So she actually is interesting that she rewards you for playing tech.
Okay. Then we have a repeated. This card we've seen before, but now we've got some Web Warrior art. Not today. That's a 1-cost event defense. Hero interrupt defense. When your hero defends against an attack, it gets +2 for that attack. If you take no damage from that attack, remove 2 threat from a scheme. So that's pretty nice. And then Dirk's favorite card of this set.
Yeah, stop hitting yourself.
I think he just
I love saying it.
I don't think he hasn't played it yet.
I haven't played this card yet, but I love saying it. So, but stop hitting yourself is a 2-cost event. It's an attack. So as a hero response, after you defend against an enemy attack and take no damage, you can deal to that enemy damage equal to your defense. So you do this, and if you've bumped up your defense a little bit, you can actually do quite a bit to the enemy with this.
Right.
And since, especially if this one is really nice in a perfect defense deck, actually.
Right. And it's a response, so it's really good
Yep.
for Ghost Spider, which is why she's on the art. All right. Then we got Dr. Sinclair.
This is a phenomenal card. I've seen it in action once.
She's a 2-cost support persona therapist, so we have a new trait now, therapist. Alter ego action. Exhaust Dr. Sinclair and spend a mental resource. Heal damage from your alter ego equal to your recovery. You may discard 1 status card from your identity. Any player may trigger this ability. So it's a great way to get an extra recovery going and remove a status. So she's kind of got the night nurse and extra recovering. So
yeah, the only actual drawbacks to her, yeah, you do have to pay for it. I don't really consider that a huge drawback, but you do have to be an alter ego to use it. So you can't, do the stay up thing unless you've got a way to flip back.
But any player could trigger this.
Anybody
this is great in multiplayer.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have the 3 charges like the night nurse. So
yes, it's permanent. Well, semi-permanent, unless it goes away.
All
right, so then we've got the energy shield. So this is one, again, we've seen this card before, but we've got
isn't
it?
No,
this isn't this is the new one.
Energy barrier.
I'm thinking energy barrier. Yeah, so this is a new one. Yeah, and I do like the artwork on it. So it's a 0-cost upgrade. It's a tech item. You attach it to a character. You get once per character, but when the attached character would take any amount of damage, you can spend X number of energy resources to prevent X damage. So if you've got quite a bit of energy, or if you're going to play this one, if you build with quite a bit of energy, you can prevent damage that way.
Yeah, and if your leadership player is doing a Voltron, you can put this on their Voltron, and it can even work with consequential damage.
Yeah, and this one, it's like, and I noticed this one does not. This one doesn't discard.
No.
So yeah, you can actually keep this one around
because there's no charges.
Yep.
All right. Then we have Ready for a Fight. We have 3 copies. It's a 1-cost upgrade. It's a preparation card. Requirement strength. Max 1 per player. Interrupt. When an enemy would scheme, discard Ready for a Fight. Change to hero form. That enemy attacks you instead. So again, this is kind of like Colossus's armor up ability, where the villain would scheme, and then so you can go get a high your higher hand size. You could even do this for another player in multiplayer. So yeah, this is a really great card for the protection player. He says, "I'm going to go to alter ego," and you're like, "Why?"
Yeah, and I thought it was a little bit interesting in the fact that since it is basically similar, it's like it deals with attacking. I do like the fact that it's using strength instead of the normal energy or mental that you see.
And the nice thing over this over the armor up is it's a preparation card, so it's already
Yep.
out. So you're getting all 6 cards instead of having to play the event that flips you, which is nice.
Yeah, and preparation seems to definitely be a prevalent theme in the Shield wave here.
And that's a great card for practice plan.
Yep. All right, then we've got Stun Gun. We've got 3 copies of this. It's a 2 cost upgrade. It is a tech weapon. These are restricted, and it comes with 2 charge counters, so you do have to be careful of that restricted keyword there. But you can exhaust this and remove 1 or 2 charge counters from it. If you remove 1, you can stun a minion. If you remove 2, you can stun the villain. So yeah, it does. It takes both shots from it, but you can stun the villain, so that's pretty nice. But then again, you can use it to get rid of minions, and that's really nice with some of these. What was the keyword that they were using for in this wave now? The vulnerable minions.
Yeah, yeah, it's great for like the aim people.
Yeah.
All right, then we're going to the basic cards. So we got Madam Web. She's a 3 cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack, 2 hit points. She's a web warrior. Response after Madam Web enters play, look at the top X cards of the encounter deck, where X is the number of web warrior cards you control. You may discard 1 card looked at this way and put the rest back in any order. So this is kind of nice to manipulate the encounter deck, which is what Silk wants to get specific card.
And when I heard Madam Web was coming out, I was kind of wondering which art she was going to have, whether it was going to be the newer or which version of Madam Web. So I was actually kind of expecting the older version.
Yeah, this is Julia Carpenter version. All right.
All right, then we've got a reprint of a classic here. This is Peter Parker's Spider-Man. It's 3 cost ally, thwarts for 2 attacks for 2. This is one that's got the requirement keyword. I mentioned earlier he's a web warrior with 3 health. But so he does require a strength and energy and a mental to play him. But after he attacks or thwarts, you can choose another web warrior character and ready that character. So this is great if you're either playing a team with several web warriors or you're a web warrior yourself. You could ready. I've seen some really great synergies with this, but the coolest thing about this is the requirement is to play him, but if you put him into play, you don't have to pay that. So that's kind of cool.
Which is what this card is.
Yeah.
It's another reprint. 2 cost event, cross the Spider-Verse, max 1 per deck. Exhaust a web warrior card you control. Search your discard pile for a web warrior ally and put it into play. Then choose a player. That player may spend 3 resources of any type to repeat this ability. So this is a way to cheat Spider-Man in. So it's like, yeah, okay, I'll use Peter Parker Spider-Man to help pay for this card, and then turn around and grab him.
Yep.
So
yeah, and I mean it definitely works with others, but that's the one that's a little combination we've been using for a little while since we first saw it. Right now we've got her team up card. It is investigative journalism. It's a 2 cost event. She teams up with Peter Parker, so we're teaming up with a character from the base game now. So
right,
we're going back a long ways on this one. But as an alter ego action, when an enemy would scheme, you can cancel the activation and confuse the enemy. So it punishes them for trying to scheme on you when you're an alter ego.
and of course the basics Peter Parker Spider-Man can be used for the team up card.
Yep.
So all right, and then we've got the 3 double resources, the new shield art that we saw with Maria's deck. So
yeah, first time I saw that energy, I thought it was a little weird, but it's growing on me. I'm actually it's kind of become one of my preferred ones. All right, so now for her nemesis stuff. So her obligation here. So I guess not quite nemesis, but what gets the nemesis? Well, no, it isn't. But no, it's a bad card for it. So the Silk Sense Overload, leave me alone. So you give this to Cindy or to the Silk player, and as a force interrupt, when a card would be tucked under your identity by a player card effect, you tuck it under here instead. And if there are 2 tuck cards here, you can discard this. So it doesn't go away permanently. It's just a discard for that. But you can remove it instead if you do 3 cards. So if you hold on to it for 1 extra, you can do 3. Now, I thought this one was kind of weird at first because I'm like, well, if you're fully built up, it doesn't hurt you. But if you're trying to use that card, the card draw from it, it definitely does show a key. So depending on how you're playing it, it may or may not be an issue to you,
I
but
had a game, but this card
yeah,
really messed me up.
yep,
All right. Then, if you're unfortunate to draw Shadows of the
that's
Past,
what I'm at.
this is
He's picking on me.
what's new. All right. So your nemesis minion is Morlun. One scheme, one attack. He's got a star, 5 hit points, elite inheritor. Morlun gets +1 scheme and +1 attack for each encounter card tucked under each identity. So of course this is going to affect Silk the most. Um, but so he could be a 5/5.
Oh wait, does Star-Lord tuck?
No,
I couldn't
but
remember
there's
if
a
he tucked those encounter
there's
cards
a
or not.
way that other characters can
Yeah.
tuck. When defeated, discard each copy of Hunting the Spider Bride tucked under each identity. So Hunting the Spider Bride, when we get to that,
Oops.
you'll see how that can affect non-Silk people.
All right, then we've got the side scheme from the obligation set. It is the Great Hunt. So when revealed, you place 2 additional threat here for each card tucked under the identity, and it comes in with 2 by itself, or under each identity. So depending again how many different identities have cards tucked, how many that could be, and then it comes with a hazard. Hazard.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, and this is how non-Silk people can get cards tucked under them. There's 3 copies of Hunting the Spider Bride. Surge. When revealed, if you have 4 cards tucked on your identity, discard one of those cards at random. Tuck this card on your identity. So that's really bad for Silk. Um, and then Force Response. After a player card effect discards this card from under an identity, that identity takes 2 damage.
Yeah, so not only does she lose one of the cards that she wanted, but then she takes 2 damage as well.
Right. So
well, when she gets rid of it.
The second,
the side scheme
the force
through.
response part will affect really pretty much Silk, but the top part will be for like Morlun or the Great Hunt. That could affect, like, I'm playing Hawkeye, say for example, and I end up getting a card tucked or whatever.
Yeah, and there's 3 copies of that.
Yeah. All right, and then this is cards after this, of course. It's not part of the rebuild, and if you want to rebuild the starter deck, there you go.
All right, so these are the cards that came with her, but were not part of her kit. First thing we've got here is Spider-Man 2099. This is Miguel O'Mara. He is a 4-cost ally. He thwarts for 2, attacks for 2. He is an aerial web warrior. As a response, after he uses a basic power, you can return a web warrior ally in play to its owner's hand. So this is really cool because you can either get a great enter the board ability, an ETB ability out of a character, or you can save a character that's about to die. So it's kind of got a dual purpose here. So I kind of like that.
And it's the first and currently only leadership web warrior card.
Yeah, now I have to make Maria a web warrior in my recursion decks.
And then we have an aggression web warrior. So this is so it's nice that we have a web warrior for every aspect now. It's 3 cost Spider Woman, Jessica Drew again. 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, shield, web warrior, 3 hit points, response. After a web warrior ally, including this one, enters play, deal 1 damage to an enemy.
So yeah, there's definite web warrior synergy in this deck. All right, then we got 3 cost of quick quip
3
here.
copies.
Or 3 copies. What'd I say?
3 cost.
3 copies of quick quip. 2 cost event. It's a skill. It requires mental, but as a hero action, you can deal 1 damage to a web warrior character you control and place a total of 2 confused status cards on up to 2 enemies. Spider-Ham is going to love this card.
Yeah. And you can put 2 confuses on there. So like if the villain is steady or something, you can put them both on the same character, which is nice. All right, then we just have another copy of Investigative Journalism to put in your Peter Parker deck.
Yeah, because like I said, they weren't planning on Silk way back in the days, or well, they probably weren't planning on Silk, or if so, it wasn't going to be anytime soon, so it wasn't in there.
Yeah, otherwise Peter Parker probably would have been a web warrior. All right.
Yeah, true.
Then the nice thing they're doing in this wave is they're continuing the Thunderbolt module. So those who played the campaign, you need an elite Thunderbolt module to play in that Thunderbolts scenario. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. box came with 6, but as we've seen in Silk and Shuri and the article for Falcon and Winter Soldier, they're all coming with another modular set. So we'll have 10, which is great.
Yeah, so without having to have any special rules, you'll have 10 that you can play with the Thunderbolts
right
module. So the first one we've got here is Atlas. He's an elite thunderbolt. He is schemes for 0. He attacks for 13. He has 18
He
hit
attacks for
points. I mean,
13.
attacks for
Wow.
3. Attacks for 3. You didn't hear that. But he's an elite thunderbolt. He does have villainous. He does have victory 1. So when you defeat him, he goes in the victory pile. But he has 18 hit points, and he gets +2 hit points for each growth counter on him. So after the villain phase ends, place a growth counter on Atlas. So the longer he's out there, the tougher he gets to take out.
Yeah, he comes with very, 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 very villainous. So you draw 4 encounter cards, the boost cards.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have growing invulnerability. It's a side scheme. When revealed, place 1 additional threat here for each growth counter on Atlas. If Atlas has 10 or more growth counters on him, the players lose the game. And there's this symbol that I don't think Dirk knows what it is. And it starts with 5 threat.
Bang. Hold on. Wait a minute. No, not hazard. Hold on. Wait a minute. Dang it. I know this thing. I was doing good.
No one, as far as I know, no one bugged him at Connie here.
No, actually, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
oh, that's great.
I did ask.
Yeah, so this is a real crisis for him.
Yeah, that's it. Crisis. I know because I love Crisis Averted, and it works on that card. All right, so we've got 2 copies of Growing Strong. It's a treachery card. When revealed, you find Atlas and reveal him. And if he's already in play, then he engages you. But Atlas activates against you, and if no enemy is activated this way, the card gains surge. So in other words, if he is face down or removed from the game, well, no, actually, it's Find. Find removes. Does Find get him look in the?
Find does not look.
Find doesn't look.
Find does not look in the victory display or people's face down in front of them.
Well, I don't think any of them look at the face down cards.
No.
But yeah, Find. So Find doesn't do it. So if he's in the victory display, he'll just get surge. And as a boost, this one gives the activating enemy a tough status card with it instead. So
okay. And then we have 2 copies of it. The other treachery, Titanic Proportions. When revealed, the players as a group take X indirect damage, where X is the number of growth counters on Atlas. If X is less than 3, this card gains surge.
Oh, and as to give you a lot of wiggle room.
And a boost, if Atlas is in play, place 1 growth counter on him. All right, so Dirk alluded that there was 10. Yeah, if people want more variety in the Thunderbolt scenario, the Con of Heroes people had rules where you could use your Nemesis minion as a Thunderbolt elite.
And yeah, it's part of the Con of Heroes pack. I don't know what they call it, but you actually can go to the Con of Heroes website and get the rules for that if you wanted to.
Yeah,
but it makes it interesting.
Yeah, they're elite, they're villainous. They've got the Thunderbolt trait and the victory trait, so they get +10 hit points.
Yeah, there was a typo on the card. I don't know if they're going to correct that on what they've got online or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do have rules for that. So
right,
it was fun. We played.
But you turn your Nemesis minion into another elite Thunderbolt villain.
Yep,
a minion. All right, so that is Silk. We have played some games at Con of Heroes, but we will definitely play a game with the starter decks on the channel. And we'll do 2 games, one where I'm Silk and Dirk's Shuri, and then we'll flip.
Yeah, this will be the first time in a while to where we actually haven't had 2 heroes that are each other's side schemes.
Signature
allies. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of nice.
Yeah. So
because I actually, at the Con of Heroes, for the first time, I played Maria without Nick in the game. Oh my... That Nick card, that was nice.
All right. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe.
Looking forward to the Web Warriors. All right. And if you want to see new content by us, go ahead and hit that subscribe bell down there, and you'll get notifications when we put up new videos.